Welcome to another footnote where I reply your comments in a form of a video. I feel like this brings us closer, and sometimes you guys have just really good points that I think it would be great to share. Depending on how you phrase your comments, hopefully what I think you mean is indeed what you're saying. I might misunderstand sometimes, so do try to make it as simple as possible when sharing your thoughts, and I'll try my best to do the same. Now I plan to make a footnote every 2 to 3 videos I publish, depending on how many comments I get, or rather how many interesting comments I like to talk about. I do appreciate those that wanted to just drop by and share your love for what I'm doing. Thank you very much. Okay, let's start. In the Brown Dust video, Straight Out the Gutter says, "Great review, man. If only I was into mobile games like how I used to back in the days, lol. I'm actually the opposite of you. I wasn't interested in mobile games at all in the past and started getting into it more and more. The reason for it is probably due to how much mobile games has improved along the years. If you think about it, a long time ago there were machines made dedicated to each game, like those that you see in arcades. Then they have machines that's powerful enough to run many different games, like those that uses the Nintendo game cards or the Game Boy, where you just need to switch between game cartridges, but you're still using one machine for just gaming. Later, when computers were better developed, computer games became extremely popular since a lot of people have one and it could be used for office work, schoolwork, research, other entertainments like streaming or downloading movies and music, and of course, also powerful enough to run really high-end games. It makes sense for a developer to focus on making computer games since it's easily accessible for many people. Now, phones are communication devices, or at least they were just that. Now people don't just use phones to stay connected, they also use it to research, stream videos and music. People like me prefer to check the time on my phone instead of wearing a watch, and the performance of an average phone nowadays are extremely capable of running good games. However, there are limitations. For one, the screen is not really a comfortable size. Making smaller details feels more like a visual noise, so things like words has to be big. Players are also faced with very limited controls, unlike the computer where you have the entire keyboard to bend to your will. With a touchscreen mobile, if they were to introduce any more buttons, you won't be able to see, blocked by your own fingers. With that said, I believe that since mobile phones are widely accessible and performance-wise adequate, someone is going to find a way to overcome these limitations for mobile. We could already see optimizations on screen usage and chats for mobile games being separated from the actual game to help cope with the issue. I believe given enough time, mobile games is probably going to be the next biggest gaming platform. Besides being a device for many applications, a mobile phone is also, well, mobile, thus making it much more convenient. And if you really think about it, we really sacrifice a lot for convenience. Whew, now that's a reply, even though you didn't actually ask me anything. Okay, next we have Swiss Tranks, and he asks, "What is your favorite game? Love your videos, by the way." Aw, thanks. So I really like an old game called Ragnarok Online. Not Ragnarok 2, not Ragnarok Mobile, just Ragnarok Online. I feel like the reason I would rate this as one of my favorite is very biased to me, because not only that I've played this game super long ago, but it was also my first MMORPG, and together with the nostalgia just makes this game very hard to beat. If you were barely alive in the 90s and has never tried this game, you probably wouldn't understand what I'm talking about, and if you do, good for you. I do feel like having good friends to play with can make any games like 100 times better, so there's that as well. However, with all the other cool PC games circulating, Ragnarok is obviously no longer the best PC game to date, but that is not what you're asking, so moving on. Now let's take a look at the comments on my last video where I basically made a workable online RPG game with Google Spreadsheet. Peter Jordanson said, "And someday, Zelp will cure cancer using spreadsheets." Oh come on, seriously. Alfonso J. Ramos says, "Have you considered trying your hand at artificial intelligence? Can you make a cellular automata, whatever that is? How about a neural network?" Okay, I kind of know what that is. well, perhaps that doesn't appeal to you because you know you can do it. Right, is this a challenge? Okay, so the problem with really complicated goals is that sometimes you just don't know enough to do it, or you don't know where to even start. I did my little game development project because I have a rough idea on how it could work based on the things that I know from the games I play. I don't know enough about this topic, and I think you might need something more than just Google spreadsheets to make it happen, maybe. Damn it, I'm actually starting to think that it's possible now. Anyways, my point is you might as well ask me to build a time machine and say, is that challenging enough for you? Which, by the way, I believe that time is a scalar quantity, thus traveling back is impossible, but forward maybe with better technology. If you want to see me make artificial intelligence with Google Spreadsheet, well, you better click the subscribe button and also the notification bell, because I will when I know how, and it's not right now. But thanks for the suggestion. Lastly, we have Amir Zaban that wrote sort of a pun. Game developer says, you will need a game engine to make a game. Zelp says, hold my beer. First of all, well done. I like it. But sadly, minor inaccuracy, I don't drink. So it's probably gonna be more like hold my juice or something. Okay, with that, we shall end this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks again for the positive comments, and even if it is a negative one, I do enjoy learning about your thoughts. So feel free to share, just don't be rude. With that said, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video just to see if anything happens. Have a pleasant day. Bye-bye. So I had to nitpick some of the comments, which I also think that it would be a more enjoyable topic to talk about, because let's face it, no one wants to listen to me nagging about how important it is to pay attention during math class. Besides, I'm kind of worn out doing that at school already. Stay in school.